NXT starts off with Ava, starts off with a promo basically announcing what's going to happen with the men's NXT championship due to Openfit vacating it. She's announcing that there's going to be qualifying matches and there's going to be six final winners, and whoever the six winners are going to be in a final match for to be able to become the NXT champion in a ladder match February 3rd. This is very interesting. I'm very interested to see who will be the last six participants in this match. I think two of the matches already got announced. I know that Shyline Hill and Sean Legacy are in it, and that's really all. That's all I remember. I forgot who they're facing, but I know they're in. I think Josh Briggs is also going to be in it as well. Very interesting. Now I know Ricky Saints don't have to be in the qualifying matches because Ava decided that he was worthy enough to be in it, which I would say kind of makes sense to a degree, but they end up using the whole he didn't get a rematch clause, so that's why he could just skip the line. So understandable. You got people like Joe Hendry who could be in this match. I think Leon Slater could possibly be in this match. I really don't want any TNA guys. I really don't. I really just want this to be strictly NXT guys, but I think it could be very interesting. Who wins? I don't know, but I do like Sean Legacy being in it because I do think that he's one of the few people who has a lot of potential in NXT, who could be one of the pillars of NXT for the next few years. You got Jackson Drake, who could potentially evolve men's champion, who could potentially be in this. Miles Bourne ended up having a backstage segment, wanting to be in one of the qualifying matches. There's a lot of people. Dion could be in there as well. Josh Briggs could potentially win. I'm very interested to see how this all unfolds. If I'm booking it, I would probably have Ricky Saints, Josh Briggs, Dion has to be in S3. Probably Jackson Drake, Sean Legacy, because I would probably have one or two Evolve people as well. And then probably throw in the new Luchador that they've been hyping up, who's going to have a North American Championship against Page. You need to have him in there. There's not many guys in NXT that I look at or is like NXT Championship ready. So to be honest, I wouldn't mind with them experimenting a bit, putting it on someone new, if I'm being honest. The only guy that I look at that's like clearly ready for that top spot is really Ricky Shane and Ethan Page. But it looks like Ethan Page not going to be in it mainly because they have this weird thing where you can't be NXT champion and North American champion, which I find very strange. Don't understand it because for whatever reason, she keeps Ava and them mentioning that in order for him to be in the ladder match, he has to vacate the North American title, which makes no sense, even though she allowed Stephanie McCurr to fight for the North American Championship at the same time. That I don't understand it, but it is what it is. But nonetheless, I'm very interested. The men's division does lack star power, but I don't think it's as bad as fans are making it out to be. I think we just need to let it play out first before we really start judging how bad the men's NXT division is. But nonetheless, I'm very excited. Plus, you got Keanu Carter. He looked amazing tonight's show because towards the end of Ava's promo led to a brawl and he ended up standing tall. He looked really great. So very excited to see how this all unfolds. Afterwards, we end up getting Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan. They've been telling this story for a bit. This was a really good match. Really enjoyed it. Towards the end, Kalani tries to cheat, holding on to the ropes to pin Lola Vice, but the referee ends up seeing her. This allowed Lola Vice to take advantage because Kalani was distracted by the ref. This allowed her to hit the back fist, pick up the victory. Now after the match though, she ended up talking to the camera, mentioning Izzy Dane, mentioning how she beat Izzy Dane a few weeks ago and how she's going after the North American Championship. I was like, all right, fine. But what also didn't make sense was later in the show, Izzy Dane cut a promo. Tana Paxley came out to attack Izzy Dane. So what are we doing here? Is Lola Vice going after the championship or not? Because it looks like they're still continuing the Tana Paxley feud, but they also teased Lola Vice going after the championship. So I'm a bit confused there. I really don't mind either one. I'm just a bit confused because it looks like Tana Pax is going to get the championship, but Lola Vice is as well. I don't see them really doing a triple threat angle because I just feel that that's just kind of weird, especially if you're going to continue the Izzy Dane and Tana Pax. I feel like that should just be its own thing. I don't think that should be separate. I don't think that you should be including Lola Vice into that, if I'm being honest. Maybe Kalani Jordan is going to attack Lola Vice next week in like a backstage segment to continue that storyline because I just don't see how you fit Tana Paxley and Lola all and Izzy all in the same. I just don't. I just don't know how that fits. But nonetheless, it was a really good match. I hope they actually continue this story, to be honest. I think it's a lot left you can tell with this, to be honest with you. And I enjoyed the match, so I really hope they continue this. Afterwards, we do end up getting a quick segment with Jacy Jayne, a Fatal Influence, Zaruka, and the Ren QCC. They ended up having a segment where they was all arguing who's going to get the next shot at Jacy Jayne, but then this turned into a 6-woman tag team match to determine who's going to be the TNA Women's Tag Team Champions, which was very weird. This is probably going to have some implications on who eventually faced Jacy Jayne, but I just find it very weird how we went from the NXT Women's Championship to all of a sudden Ava changed this into the TNA Tag Team titles. So next week is going to be the Ren QCC, Zaruka, and Fatal Influence, #1 contender to face the TNA Women's Tag Team Champions. Um, I'm not going to act like I don't care about this because I do somewhat care about this because I do think this is going to have implications on who is Jacy Jayne's next opponent. It should be so if whoever wins this match is the next opponent for Jacy Jayne, it should be Zaruka. No offense to the other participants. Well, Fatal Influence are in this match, so neither of them are going after Jacy Jayne. But when it comes to Kendall Gray, I just don't want to see it on the match. I really don't. I just don't think it's worth. I just don't think it's worth the time as of right now. Until they develop more of her character, until we see more of her character work, I really don't want to see another Kendall Gray match. The match was a banger. It was great. I just want to see more from Kendall Gray before we put her in NXT Championship talks. Now, when it comes to Zaruka, I think you could tell a decent enough story. Plus, you could tell the Zarya story. You could have Zarya portray. I just think you could tell more with that match, with that story, than you can with a Kendall Gray. You could have Zarya interfere, not interfere. You could have this be the start of the Zarya heel turn, whatever. I don't care however they do it, but very interested to see how this all unfolds. I don't really care about the TNA side. Even though I started recently watching TNA, I don't really care about the TNA side, but I really just am interested to see who's going to be the one facing Jacy Jayne next. We get a Blake Monroe promo. Basically, this was a really good promo, but the basic premise of her promo was basically how she's the star, she's the spotlight, she has all this talent that no one measured up to her, and that she's at the top of the women's division, basically. You get Jada Parker, she interrupts, she got a crazy pop. Finally, Jada Parker is back. I don't know where she's been. I'm not gonna really blame Shawn Michaels. I'm not, because we don't know. I don't know if she needed time off. I don't know if it was family. I don't know if she was injured. I don't know. But the reaction she got was crazy. Like, no one gets reactions like her in NXT. Like, no one gets reactions like her. Like, she was getting this type of reaction before she left. Like, no one else at NXT can leave for as long as Jada Parker is getting that reaction, I swear. But she interrupts Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe doesn't allow her to say a word. Jada Parker attacks her and stands tall. So it looks like this is the next program. I don't mind this because I was wondering what was going to be the next program for Blake Monroe, because I'm going to be honest, there isn't really many people for Blake Monroe to face due to her being a heel, because NXT lacks baby faces. The only baby faces on the roster right now is Thea Hale, Zaruka, and Jada Parker, and if you want to count Lola Vice. But when in terms of Blake Monroe, she's not going to feud with Zarya. If she's going to feud with anyone, it'll be Zaruka. And then Thea Hale, she already done that, and plus Thea Hale is such a lower mid-card level threat to Blake Monroe. You know, it's like, why run that feud? So it's really just Jada Parker and potentially Lola Vice, and I really don't care about the Lola Vice stuff. So the fact that I run this, I like it potentially. I hope this potentially elevates Jada Parker to the point where they put her in the NXT Championship picture. I don't understand why. I don't understand how Shawn Michaels see the reactions that she gets and still don't get a championship opportunity. I don't understand. She got opportunities, she loses all of them. But I don't understand how you get someone that's over Jada Parker and still don't win championship gold. I don't understand it. I really don't. I feel like the answer is so obvious. Let her be the face of NXT for the women's division. But it is what it is. We'll see how this feud plays out. I like the potential of this feud. So we'll see how this eventually unfolds. We eventually end up getting Izzy Dame. She cuts a really good promo. I did feel like this promo kind of dragged a bit. I felt like she was talking a bit too long. But the promo, nonetheless, was really good. We get towards the end where Tatum Paxley interrupts, attacks her. She basically wants a shot at the North American Championship. This is why I was confused about the Lola Vice segment. I don't mind them running this back. I am a bit confused though, because if you was going to run this program for the North America Championship, you could have just run this for the NXT Championship, but I guess they wanted Jacy Jayne to be champion that badly, I guess. But nonetheless, we're getting it for a title. Who wins this? It should be Izzy Dame. Because now that they're continuing it, I thought that Tatum Paxley was going to win the feud, but now Izzy Dame should win the feud, if I'm being honest. Now, I don't mind Tatum Paxley winning this feud if you're going to keep her as North American Champion for a bit. But if the plan is just for her to lose again really quickly, then Tatum Paxley should just keep it and have her have a reign, if I'm being honest. Especially because Tatum Paxley is more likely closer to getting called up, even though I don't know what they would do with a Tatum Paxley on the main roster. But I assume Tatum Paxley being in NXT, as long as she's closer to being called up than someone like Izzy Dame. But nonetheless, I'm interested to see where this story goes eventually, but I hope Izzy Dame retains, but I can see them going either way with this story. Then we finally get the main event, Dion versus Joe Hendry in a no disqualification match. I really didn't care for this match because I don't care for Joe Hendry. Don't really care for the story either, but basically OTM, who's defending Joe Hendry because they want a shot at the tag team titles, take out, they basically brawl all the way to backstage to eliminate Dark State, so it's just a one-on-one match. Towards the end, you get Tony D'Angelo interferes, choke slams Dion and Joe Hendry, but puts Joe Hendry on top of Dion to get the victory. What is Tony D'Angelo doing? I'm really confused and I'm starting not to care because he returned, chokes, he attacked Obafemi, if I'm not mistaken, right? He attacked Obafemi, or he attacked, I think he attacked Obafemi, if I'm not mistaken. No, he stared down Obafemi. That's what happened. He stared down Obafemi. Then he attacked Ethan Page. Then now he attacked Dion and Joe Hendry. This is making no fucking sense because is he a heel? Is he a face? What is his goal? I'm not understanding. Mind you, he's been off TV for like weeks as well. So this doesn't really do anything for his character because you're ruining the momentum. It's like you can't just have him attack someone, disappear for weeks, attack someone again. Like we need something. We need something to really like hang on to because this is really getting boring if I'm being honest. Like there's nothing. You might as well just kept his mob boss gimmick if I'm being honest. But nonetheless, this show overall, it was a decent show. It started off good, but it fell off towards the end. But overall show, it was decent. You gotta let me know your overall thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my wrestling content. But yeah, that's it.